Thought we did a lot of good things at Iowa. I thought we had a tremendous amount of fight and really connected on the defensive side, other than a few transition plays. But a good way to end the season. Got an opportunity to get the same team again on Friday. Them or Ohio State. It's always exciting time of year when you get to postseason. Very, very excited for our 3 all-conference selections. I think that speaks volumes to winning, and it's always a great compliment to our program when guys are rewarded for the success the team has, and you see that in the individual accolades that come their way. I thought each of those guys was very deserving, and as needed, the winning teams were rewarded with those guys on the all-conference teams. But I would take that first team against any other league in the country, and feel pretty good about my chances of winning every night out. But that's a terrific first team. It speaks volumes to how good the Big Ten is. It speaks volumes to player development, whether you're a veteran in this league or whether you're a transfer. I think it's quite a talented group. So excited for that. Excited for the opportunity to head to Minneapolis and perform, and we'll kind of a unique situation. We don't know our opponent, so we're not talking about anybody specifically, but we do know it's Iowa, who we've seen a couple times here in 14 days, or Ohio State, who's playing awfully well, and we'll cover a little bit of both of them in practice here and see what we got.
When you brought Marcus on, I'm sure you thought he would flourish, but did you foresee a first-team All-Big Ten player?
You don't know that. I think that every player's mental ability to handle change is different. I think that we liked his talent. We knew he would be a good player. You've got to have team success, in my opinion, to be worthy of a first-team all-conference awards. He's been a big piece of that. We've kind of had 3 seasons in one this year with TJ and what's happened there. And Marcus was steady through all of that, and has found a great niche, and he's a tremendous teammate. He's a tremendous worker. He deserves it. But I don't want to say you expect those things. You have to have team success, I think, to accomplish individual success, and our team doing that was instrumental. And it's kind of the chicken or the egg. What comes first? A good player or a good team, and Marcus has had just a great year.
Coach, why do you think it's important to have a good showing in the Big Ten tournament, and are there ramifications for your team in terms of NCAA seeding?
I don't know how much we can move. I really don't. I think I don't worry too much about it. In terms of the seeding, we got 16s beating 1s now, so I think it's a truly a crapshoot. I think yesterday's I did get to see a lot of teams in some of the lower leagues. I truly appreciate those conference championships and games, and a lot of good teams. I think you go to the conference tournament anytime we got an opportunity to compete. We're trying to compete to cut nets down and win championships, and this league is loaded. It's terrific. The games today will be very, very competitive, and Ohio State got very hot last year and made a deep run, so anything can happen. You just got to go play well, and Selection Sunday is what it is. We'll figure out where we're at and where we're going.
But maybe the uncertainty of who you play on Friday. Is this more time this week to work on yourselves, or like how do you balance the scouting with that?
Yeah, there's not a lot of scouting. I mean, we're obviously pretty familiar with Iowa, and in terms of the mental component, we played Ohio State a while ago, and they're doing a few things differently. But yeah, it's we were off yesterday. We came back on Monday and got in the gym, and so you try to find that balance of staying fresh, knowing you can play 3 games in 3 days, and then stay mentally sharp and competitive. And we'll get after it pretty good today, but mainly our stuff. And we'll experiment with a wrinkle or two that's new, maybe that we might need, here in postseason play.
What do you think has changed for Ohio State, just based on what you've seen? I know they haven't been an official game prep for you yet, but just based on what you've been able to gather.
I mean, they're obviously, I think they're playing a little faster. I think they're 3 or 4 possessions a game faster. They're playing everybody. They're going very deep into their bench and playing a lot of guys, which is probably smart when you're in a coaching change and keep everybody happy. So just play them. And they've played a little zone and they're running the same stuff and doing the same things. But it's kind of the same group doing the same things, and they got really good players.
The offense has been great all year, but postseason time, how much do you foresee having to rely on that in these kind of games?
Offense is huge. You got to have, when everybody's going to try to take away your number one option, and and it's I always go back to my past experiences. We won a game at Stephen F. Austin, shooting 30%, 31%. So you've got to be able to have multiple options. You've got to be able to have a guy or two. I like the fact we can play multiple ways. I think we can put a five out lineup that can all shoot it. We can put some size out there. I thought Ty and Dane were tremendous in our last game on Sunday in terms of the cross matches and so on and so forth. So I like our versatility on that end a great deal, and I think that's what we've been playing for, is to have that versatility. You don't see a lot of teams playing booty ball, and as I watched a lot of these games here in the last couple days, I think that's unique. So we'll see, but I'm excited about it because we're 3rd or 4th in the country today in offense. So it's nice to have guys who can make baskets and do it in a lot of ways.
You like about the bite defense of what you guys have had most of the time the last 2 games?
Well, I like the fact that we played with tremendous energy, and we played without fouling, and we defensive rebounded. Iowa probably got the same shots in the second game that they got the first game. They just didn't make it. But I thought our bite was really good. I thought our attention, our athleticism was in full force because our energy was great, and then we did it without fouling. And our record is really, really good. We keep teams off the line, and it's really, really good when we defensive rebound like that. So it's not a complicated formula. It's energy and it's mental focus, and when we do that without fouling, we're pretty good.
The idea of even doing 3 games in 3 days, is that a physical thing, a mental thing, some combination of the two?
Considering they're all 20 to 22 years old, I'd like to think it's a lot more mental than physical. Most of these guys can go play pickup games for hours upon hours every day and not think anything about it, and they're pretty young. And yeah, you got to handle some recovery things, but it becomes very mental. And I don't want to downplay fatigue, but Fletcher's got our guys in great shape, and it becomes more about the mental. The quick change, the scouting report detail, the possession by possession detail. You go from one style to another. That's where you got to be really good. You can't give up plays on baskets on out of bounds plays because you forgot a scout. You got to be pretty dialed in and focused. So it becomes a lot of mental challenge as well.
Consecutive days, there's a stretch in January what did you see from them there on that mental side of just handling that phase?
Yeah, there was a lot involved in that too. You know, with guys out and guys injuries, and we played guys a lot of minutes during that stretch. I think that's something that will be beneficial to us. I think that the nice thing is you're not traveling and throwing that piece in that does add to fatigue. You're walking across the street to the arena here. So, but yeah, you got to be able to handle it. I think this team's mature enough and dialed in enough. They've seen enough, experienced enough that you hope they can carry over. A scout and the ability to flip the switch when they need to.
What have you noticed in the years in these kinds of tournaments for teams that are pretty secure in their NCAA spot versus the teams that are fighting for their lives there?
Well, there's different. It's nerve-wracking when you're fighting for it. There's no doubt. And I've said this many times. The most pressure I've ever felt in my life was being in one bid league and going undefeated in the regular season and knowing you're done. Being on the bubble, yeah, you're going to find a little different. You may find a little different energy and angst, and it's one of the things I was excited about for our guys in Sunday's game. Iowa's considered on the bubble, and we knew we were a 2 seed, but we came out and handled business, and I think every game has got its own identity, and you have to be your best in every game, and we've got to do that, knowing that the other team is trying to do something else potentially.
Does the Iowa game and the kind of physicality, does that change how other teams look at you heading into the postseason? I mean, the ability to play at any pace and win at any pace?
I don't know. That's a good question. I probably better ask for them. I think the one thing that we feel comfortable about is we can. I think we're at our best when we've got a nice balance of running. I think we were a little sloppy at Iowa. I think we had 8 turnovers in the first half, and all of them came in transition. But yet, we don't ever want to take Terrence away, because that's where he's special. But when we collectively run and get down the court before the defense gets set, we're pretty good. But we can score in the half court, and I think booty ball is unique and something we got a lot of confidence in, and we've got enough other ball screen actions that we can play too. But I like it. I like where we're at offensively.
First time Minneapolis is hosting the tournament. Any thoughts on having it there this year, and maybe any inkling where it's going to be in your list of favorite places to have the tournament?
I hope it's my favorite. Right now Lucas Oil's pretty high up there. It is what it is. I think it's. I'm a huge proponent of conference tournaments being for the fans. I think the fans should have the opportunity to get to places, to buy tickets, especially if your team gets hot, and have access to getting in and out in an easy way. I don't know where we'll be in the future. I think it's a huge condition for our league with the expansion and having West Coast teams and literally teams on both coasts. We do play the last game on Sunday, so being able to get from one site to another site and home, and knowing you're going to be home really late and probably have to leave again really quick. All that plays into it, so I think location's important in the future, but very excited for Minneapolis, and it's a great city. We obviously get to spend a little time down there with playing Minnesota, but we weren't there this year, but excited, look forward to it.
Terrence in transition at Iowa is really electric in that it feels like Terrence does it in a different way, which is kind of the power. Like, if you had a player like him, like, what does that allow you? You have someone who's either going to draw a foul or get to the rim like that almost 95% of the time.
Yeah, it's really effective. I think he did it 3 times in the Iowa game where he defensive rebounded, and it was like he was shot out of a cannon. His speed, his ability to maneuver in the open court is special. There's very few like him in the college game. You do that with the ability that he can jump. He gets to the rim and he's dropping the ball in or dunking it. you know, along with getting fouled, that's pretty unique. It's a big part of what we want to try to play to. And when Terrence is, you know, Io figured out defensive rebounding. That's why he had triple doubles. Io figured out he was a one-man fast break, and we're trying to get Terrence to continue to believe in that. You know, he helps our defense a lot with his athleticism and strength when he defensive rebounds, but it also helps us offensively. And you know, Ty's the same way. When he defensive rebounds and can push, we're pretty effective. But it's our little pitch aheads. It's our little plays that just keep a defense off balance, not let them set, you know, that make us pretty good.
Brad, this might be a dumb question, but people on the outside wonder, do you want to play 3 games in 3 days, 4 games in 4 days, with the tournament the following week meaning a little bit more? I'm sure you probably don't even look at it that way, but what do you make of that?
I'm playing to win. I'm playing to win. I'm playing to win every damn game we go out and play. And you know, you can say it doesn't mean anything, and the NCAA tournament is the NCAA tournament. As long as we're playing games that the jersey on the other side says a different university, it's a different color, we're trying to play to win. And I don't buy all the rest and, you know, this and that. You play on Sunday, you get beat. Yeah, we did. But I'm there to play to win, and I would love to be standing on a ladder trying to cut down a net on Sunday, and you know, then, you know, try to go do it again. And you know, you got to manage emotion, you got to manage the mental piece as much as anything, but we're playing to win. Thank you.